Hello, we're going to take notes for note 6. Duh, I can read. Note 6, solving equations with fractions. This is hard work, and I don't prefer to work with fractions. I like to get rid of fractions whenever possible. And so the key fact here to solving equations with fractions is you are going to get rid of the fraction. That is the key point. You want to get rid of the fraction. And in order to get rid of the fraction, we are going to multiply the entire equation, both sides, the left and the right, by the least common denominator, the LCD, and then we're going to solve the equation normally. So go ahead and press pause if you need to take a minute to write that down because that's important, but we're going to go ahead and do 2 examples and then that's all. So here's our first example. I would like you to copy this down in your notebook and then show all the work as I go. This equation, if you notice, has a fraction on both sides. It has a 1/2. The least common denominator here, the least common denominator is 2. The least common denominator means what number can the denominator both be is a multiple of both denominators. In this case, it's 2, and so we're going to multiply the entire problem by 2. And when I multiply by 2, and I mean the entire problem, I'm going to multiply every single part of this equation by 2. So I'm going to do 1/2 x times 2, 2x times 2, 6 times 2, 1/2 times 2, and 6x times 2. I literally multiply every single part. It's kind of like a humongous distributive property problem where I'm multiplying the entire equation by 2, so every single part gets multiplied by 2. Some of these are easy to multiply by 2, some are not, especially if you don't remember fractions. But if we do 1/2 times 2, multiply with a fraction, we put it over 1. I can cross cancel, and that's the whole point. The whole reason we multiply by the least common denominator is to get rid of the fraction. 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1 if I do top times top over bottom times bottom. So this becomes 1x, 2x times 2 is 4, 6 times 2 is 12. So I multiplied this whole side by 2. And on the other half, 1/2 times 2, we already did that math, it's 1. And 6x times 2 is 12x. Now this beautiful equation has no more fractions, which is what I wanted. Now we solve it. So I'm going to draw a line through the equal sign, and I'm still using those 4 steps that we've been working with. These 4: get rid of subtraction, simplify and distribute, get all the variables on one side, and get rid of the constant coefficient. If you look at this problem, there is no subtraction, but I can simplify. 1x plus 4x's is 5x's. I can't add a 5x and a 12, they're not like terms. On the right side, I cannot add a 1 and a 12x because they are not like terms. Now I have to get all the variables on one side. Again, I have a 5x here and a 12x here. My goal is to group all of the variables on one side and put all the numbers on the other. And my suggestion is to move the smaller coefficient. So I'm going to take away 5x and take away 5x. Again, notice I stacked the x's because I'm putting them all together. These go away, and I'm left with 1 plus 7x. So I put all the numbers on this side, the letters on this side. That means I need to move the numbers over here. So this is the last step. You move the constant and then the coefficient. The constant is this 1. 12 minus 1 is 11. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 7 to get rid of that coefficient. And I have to do 11 divided by 7. And that is what x is. X is equal to 1.57. It keeps going, but we can just round it to the hundredths place. So that problem had just one solution. The one solution is 1.57. Or you can leave it as 11/7 as a decimal. As a fraction. All right, this next example problem I will do in part 2 of this video so we don't get cut off.